Yo, it's Guido coming after the Tactics Talk, guys, and I have a twofold video here. Number one, we're going to talk about Road to Berlin, give you a quick rundown of that, show you a little bit of gameplay. Number two, I'm going to give you a quick review, down and dirty review of the IS-2 Shielded. You can see it right here. I've actually got the Offspring, one of the newer Offspring, I guess it's not new, is it? But anyway, the Offspring camo on that bad boy. You can see that it's got some fencing attached to it. That's going to be shields for things like heat or Panzerfaust and things like that. Not that we have any of those in the game, but a shielded version of it. I do not know if this is giving you spaced armor. I need to look into that, try to get that answer to you as soon as I can figure it out. But we'll talk about this on the second half of the video. So if you're only here for the IS-2 Shielded review, down and dirty, go to the end of the video. But we'll go ahead and start with Road to Berlin. Okay. I told you guys I would do this on Sunday, a little bit late getting it out. I was going to do it last night, Sunday night, after I played a few games of this, and I think I said on my Sunday Coffee Talk this thing didn't start till today, but it actually started last night. Very weird. They gave it to NA first, and so I'm assuming we were the guinea pigs to find out if there was any major issues with it, and that seems to be the MO with wargaming on several of these things in the recent past. It appears it was fine. I don't know of any major bugs. There are some little ones along the way, but nothing kind of game-breaking. All right, so we have it. Here we go. Road to Berlin. The way you get there is you click on this thing. It says Road to Berlin. There might even be a way to do it here. Yes, Road to Berlin. So two ways to get where you want to go, but that's probably the easiest. And now you're in the Road to Berlin. And we looked at this on Sunday. It's got your base operation, which shows how far you've got stage-wise, units, which are the 5 different units, orders, which are where you can buy more of these orders. Basically, these are experience times 5, 10, 15, okay? Road to Berlin experience, or whatever you want to call it. This is the IS-2S. You can buy it here. I have bought it. It starts out at 6,000 gold. We'll talk about how you can make that less in a minute. If you want to watch the video and go through it, they'll explain everything I'm about to explain. And then this is the Berlin map, which will unlock on May 9th for level 3 units. Also on this, and I'll start here, it's annoying that the music's in here but nowhere else. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. I think it's the Berlin music. So new map, Berlin. Winter bundle that you can buy for 3,750 gold. It's actually on sale. Otherwise, they value it at whatever that was, 5,200. This is going to get you 30 days, 20... pretty good deal as far as a booster for credits, okay, personal reserve for credits. I say good deal because that's the best one of them. Whether or not it's a good deal based on gold is up to you. And 20 of the experience earned, and then you're going to get upgrade everything to level 3. All right, so that's this over here, taking everything over to level 3 for 3,875 gold. There's a lot of people sitting around with a lot of gold. Nothing to do with it. It's not like you're going to turn it back into cash money. You just need to decide what thing in the game is worth it to you. That might be worth it to you if you're planning on cranking out this event. Level 3 units are going to get you through the event faster if you're going for the IS-2 Shielded for free, or to get to what is at the end, which is interesting that this is kind of the top thing as a reward. It's a bounty event, all right? It's an event that's like improved equipment. You have to spend money to make it improved equipment. We now have 3 different kinds of equipments. That's a video for another day. But the tank itself, the IS-2, is unlocked if you go through 4 stages. All right, so let's get back over and finish this up. And you get times 10, and I think you get 5 of them. Yes, 5 per unit of extra times 10s, which again will speed up your movement through the various phases of the operation on this. All right, so not a bad deal, and I might do that if I play this, and we'll get that into that in a minute. Let me do a slight mea culpa here. Number one, I'm glad I didn't do this video yesterday because I would have burned this place to the ground. I'm glad I sat on it, thought about it, read some other people's kind of opinions. Not that I'm looking for their opinions, but just to expand my aperture a little bit, come at it with a little bit more of a balanced idea. And PvE, number 2, PvE is not my thing. So number 1, I'm glad I didn't go crazy yesterday. 2, PvE is not really my thing. 3, there's arty in this. All right, AI arty is going to bomb you. It's not going to ruin the entire game, but it's super annoying, and I don't know why you would even bother to put it in a PvE game. It's just, we'll get to that a little while later when we get into playing a game, but I wanted to throw those three things out there so that you understand where I'm coming from. All right, but it is an improvement over Homefront, and I will give them that much credit for sure. And there was a lot of work obviously put into this. There's a lot going on here. All right, so we'll start with the base. These are the tanks that you have, or the teams, okay? And you've got the Beast Slayers are TDs, then you've got the IS guys, starting with the IS-1 to IS-2. You can see the tanks right there that it goes to, IS-2V. You have the medium tank guys, which are winged Spearhead, and they go up to a T-44-85. And pretty cool, actually, and I don't know what the historical accuracy of this is, but there's the American tanks, not American unit, which are Lend-Lease kind of things, I'm assuming, kind of idea. I don't know how many Shermans actually got into Berlin, whether they were even using them on the front lines by the end of the war, or if there was a significant number, but it's cool that they're included. And of course, the other Lend-Lease stuff would be Churchill's, I believe, where some of those were sent to the Russians as well, because clearly Americans and Brits did not do anything in the battle for Berlin. But it's cool that they've added these extra different kind of tanks under that guise. And I think some of the skins and things are pretty cool on these, so hopefully some of these things are going to be coming to the game. I don't know, especially the Sherman, I was looking at it, I don't think it's Loza's Sherman, but it might be. And there's several different versions, so they got some pretty cool Russian graphics on the side and stuff. Would be interesting if they put some of those things in the game. If some of them are already there, it's possible. There's so many camos out there right now, it's hard to know. You will also see when you click on it, let's go on the one that I have not played yet, because I'm gonna show you this one. You start off with a ×15 for your first game in all of these. So that's a pretty good deal. You're going to get a lot of experience. It's 300 to 500, maybe 600 of the experience. I'll show you where that goes in just a minute. For one game, if you do any kind of decent in that game. All right, that's nice, and that will burn pretty quickly. You can get more of these. All right, the ×5s, you'll get one a day of the ×5s for each one of these teams, of these 5 teams, so you get a free one. Then there's some, unfortunately, you have to play some, I mean, fortunately or unfortunately, you have to play some pub matches and do some missions to get some, I think, ×10s, or maybe it's more ×5s. I'll have to look at that in a minute. But you can gain some through missions in pubs, and oh, by the way, you can buy them. Remember, you saw where orders were, and I can go purchase. All right, so you can buy some of these things. I have 2 of these coins available right now, so it looks like I can exchange that for, how many of those can I get? Where did it go? Here we go. Well, be careful. Danger, danger. It went to this guy. So it looks like you need to be... There you go. I did that real time. You have to be clicked on the right guy. That's fantastic. Well, let's see. Did I have one more? I don't know if I had enough. Let's go to orders again. I can. So quickly, real time, old irons, the Ironsides. Let's see if that's where it goes. I have no 15 orders there. That's a really weird way to do it, isn't it? And so, wow. Yes, wow. Okay, I'm glad I figured that out. There you go. I hope you saved you some consternation on where the ×15 goes. I mean, that is there a way to change it here? Nope, there it is, up top. Very good. All right, so there you go. You can do it 2 ways. They actually have it mech'd fine. Just realize that's what this means up here. I would have never figured that out, probably, had I not done it and just randomly seen it happen. So you get the coins, you can get more of these ×15s. Holy cow. All right, that's why we're doing this thing. You can see where you are in the operational stages, and that's the next thing we'll go to. And then you can see where you are in the unit of the Ironsides. If I click on the Beast Slayers, that's where I am in that unit. And you're going to level up here while you level up in the operation. But let's go to the operation first. That's a consolidation of all your experience points that you get. I have done 1 stage, and I'm working on my 2nd stage. Now remember, I said it was 6,000 gold for the IS-2 shielded. And each stage you do takes 1,500 gold off of it. Math in public, you do 4 stages. It's a free IS-2 shielded. All right, pretty easy, a bit grindy, but as far as ease goes, it's just you've got to get in there and grind away. Anybody can do it. They really can. You just have to have the time. That's the grind wall that this IS-2 shielded and this, which drives me a little bit crazy, that this bounty ventilator are sitting behind. a video for another time. Grind walls on separate modes, getting equipment for pub when this entire grind does nothing for my pub grind except give me a little bit of equipment and a new tank. It's a little bit irritating to me. I'm just going to leave it at that. But let's take a look at how this works. The first one's easy, 500. You knock that out, you're going to get some training booklets. The booklets are broken down by the team, USSR, UK, and then USA. So those are the three nationalities of tanks you will play, and you will get some training booklets. You're also going to get 3 of these ×5s, which is really not that many actually. And that happens to go to the first tank you play the second battle on. Remember, if it's a ×2 day or a ×5 day standard, the first battle you play will be that, and then the next time you play that tank, once you uncover that tank from its daily times whatever, you'll get this ×5 on that tank. So your grinders, you're going to play that, and then be careful about how you use these. If you want to make sure you're getting those on your grinders, just play your grinders straight through. That's how that works. That's the percentage off, like I talked about. Obviously 25, 50, 75. Free when you finish stage 4. Stage 4 gets you one of these 250,000 experienced dudes, and stage 5, when you finish it at 15,000 of these points, gets you the bounty rammer, and if you're into the medals and stuff, there you go. You get a medal for Berlin event. So remember when I said with a ×15, it's 300 to 500 points or so, 300. That only took me a couple battles to get to, and I think I'm 3 or 4 battles total, maybe 3. No, 4, because I've done 4 of the 5, 4 of the 5 teams so far. I've already got 835 plus the 500, which is going to be 1,300 Math and Public, 1,335, right? Points in only 4 battles, but that's because I had those ×15s. So that's going to slow down once you get into only ×5s, ×10s, or you run out of those and you're just going. So daily wise, you're going to want to play each one of those. If you're going to go free to play, you want to play each one of those for the ×5. Get some of your pub matches going to get a couple more of them coins and things. Buy yourself some more of the ×whatevers, and then go from there. That's basically how that's going to work. All right, so progression through operation. For the units, as you can see, I've played 4 of the 5. I haven't played this one yet, and this is where I got in one battle. So moved along pretty good. Again, remember, that's with the ×15 thing going on, and that did count for this as well, I do believe. All right, so the operations, adding them all together, each separate unit has X amount. And does it tell me how much I need to get there? Not exactly. Interesting. So I don't know where you might be able to see that. Maybe on another page. Orders, I think we talked about. There you go. You can purchase it for money, I believe, if you go to the premium shop. That's the IS-2. We'll have the review of that in a minute. Like I said, you can watch their video. And then, of course, there's the Berlin map. So that should be pretty much everything that we talked about, or everything that's included in Road to Berlin. I just wanted to see if you can tell what you need to get the next. Well, you can over here. Beast Slayer, so 800 to get yourself up to the level 2 Beast Slayer TD, which is a Su 100 currently. Remember, if you go over here to Berlin and you say, oh, by the way, I just want to purchase, and I'm probably going to do that in a minute just to see what happens, but for now I want to show you a battle with the Winged Spearhead guys, which are the medium Russian tanks. So that's where we will go next. Well, all right, let's do Winged Spearhead. We'll click Battle. Searching for allies. We got in one pretty quickly. That's pretty good. All right, so a couple things about this. First, it's got several phases of the battle. You attack, then they counterattack, you attack, they counterattack, and I think you attack. It's something like that. And there's boss tanks at the end that have flags over them, and you have to kill those boss tanks. You can see down on the bottom right, I have, these are incendiary shells. A couple of them have that. I think the mediums have that. And then Katusha rocket launcher. So you basically have some kind of buff to your tank, and then you have some kind of area attack, whether it's arty or aircraft. So we have a Nashorn kind of sitting out here in the open. As a general rule, it doesn't really feel like the camo system is the same for this game as it is for all of them. And you can see this is kind of a known map with just a little bit of change in it right here. We got a few extra buildings kind of sitting over here. If you look at the maps, you can tell that it's old maps, but changes to it. You will find that these guys will tend to, and I don't know why your own team tends to ram into you in this mode more than other modes. It's very strange, but it really does. You're going to see the enemy tanks are able to snapshot. Yeah, look at that. I just boonk. It's going to irritate you because you're going to see a turret like just spin towards you and blap, and all of a sudden they just nail you. And it's AI, so they have to give the AI a certain amount of accuracy in order to be effective. You're going to find that there's more AI than you. The Panthers are pretty tough frontally, as are the Tigers. Yeah, see that? He just spins his turret and just hammers me. He does fight. Oh, geez, so I'm just getting absolutely waylaid here. They will present their side to you quite a bit. So you should try to be very careful in the way you approach. I was not particularly careful. I've already lost a bunch of hit points. And you can't get hit points back. And there's the artillery. I try to get shot on him before he hits me, but usually, yeah, he's not looking at me. Even when they're not looking at... Yeah, see, that Panzer IV didn't die, and he got a shot on me. So we'll go ahead and just move up here and try to get a shot. He's trying to make a runner. They will run away. There's no gold rounds, so you're not going to be able to push 2 if you need more pen. Oh, and then now I've got this arty stuff coming in. It's fast. It's 6 seconds, and you really got to get booking out of the way. And then they're going to try to drop another one on you, and it really does kind of force you to move around places you wouldn't really want to go. So I'm going to try to find some cover and get behind something because I think the counter... Yeah, here comes the counterattack. So see the arrows pointing down? Now they're going to counterattack, and I need to cover up. Whoa. Oh, geez. So that's bad. I'm probably dead. I did not realize they were going to... I had no idea. I was not paying attention to the direction the arrows came. See how the arrows are actually coming from the north right there? That was bad. All right, so respawns, you have 3 to start with, and then you're going to get 1 extra for each phase that you finish. I've used 1 up. That's not good. So we're going to hang out back here a ways and see if we can take some pot shots at these. Oh, geez. Good old Russian accuracy right there. Take some shots. I'm not spotted, so it looks like... Oh, geez. I guess they didn't want me to hang out in the back. Looks like we... That's interesting. It just forced me... It's forcing me forward again. Wow. Okay, that's something new, because I'm usually up front. I'm usually pretty close. This is the first map where I didn't have to drive a really long ways to start getting shots. So it looks like the game wanted me to move forward and not camp in the back. Very interesting. Hadn't seen that yet. Like I said, it's the first map I've had any kind of really long-range shots on. Once they do start paying attention to you, you do need to kind of get to cover. Because they will pick you apart. This is a really wide-open map, too. This is very difficult to... I'm trying to find a... Oh, my gosh, they're coming from every direction here. There's still a guy. Did we kill that guy? I guess we killed the guy off to the left. All right. The Panthers are difficult to pen from the front with the lower-level tanks, as are the Tigers. This guy's probably just going to blap me as he runs. You do have auto-aim, so you can do that. He was not looking at me, so that was helpful. There's the Panther. The Panthers you do want to try to shoot in the side. I'm going to tell you, tracking seems fairly indifferent. Yeah, see, I don't really... This sucks. This Panthers got me. When they start glomming onto you like that... Oh my gosh, he just hammered me again. Okay, that was good because somebody else got his attention. And I do have an airstrike. So I'm almost dead already. I have found the mediums to be quite difficult in this case. There's a Panther way off to the left that we haven't killed yet. We've only got 1 minute and 21 to kill him. So is he stuck on something? That is not good. I hope he's not stuck somewhere on the map. That is one of the bugs I've heard. And you'll notice that I can't go past the hash marks. So I don't... There he is. Is he stuck behind that thing? Ah, that's frustrating. All right, so let's do this. We'll drop a little bomb-a-llama ding-dang on him. I don't think I got the kill. We all shot him down. All right. Now we've got to... I don't know what... I'm not really sure what's happened here. Which way are we supposed to go? Looks like that part of the map is opened up over here, so it looks like this way. Oh, there's the flag. All right, so there's a flag. Tell me which way I've got to go. This is the first map this has all been a little confusing on, to be honest. The city maps were a bit more channelized, kind of funneling you the direction you needed to go, so they weren't nearly as... This guy sees me, doesn't he? Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. It just done. That has been one of the main frustrations in this mode. What I will also say is because I'm not the guy up front, I don't think I've taken any of the arty shots yet. So that's interesting because in other games, especially the city games where I was up front doing a lot of brawling in the heavy tanks, I got focused by arty like crazy. So it seems a bit indifferent on how the arty does. Please don't shoot me, you stupid panther. Uh-oh. Wow. Oh, jeez, and they just thumped me. I have not had a lot of luck with the mediums blocking the panther shots. I mean, right off the bat, I get thumped. Panzer IV right there. The Panzer IVs do not hit particularly hard, but they do fire a lot faster. The timing on the Panthers is a little weird because they don't shoot quite as fast as, say, an in-game Panther. Look at that. He just shows up and whack. I do not want to get hit by a nashorn again. I lit him on fire, though. I'll give him that much, or give myself that much. Yeah, this is bad because they're going to counterattack, and I have no cover to get behind. Hold downs doesn't seem to help. I mean, just the snapping ability of the enemy tanks is a little bit crazy. Oh boy. Look, see that turret turn towards me? Never mind the Churchill. He's going to shoot me. I think they actually have a decent amount of skill in determining who's low hit points and going after them. I've seen them sort of blow guys off that are near and go after the low hit point one-shot guy and take him down. That's happened to me multiple times. So there seems to be a little bit of logic involved with that. All right, I think we're going to get a counterattack here. So yeah, so we're going to counterattack from that direction. So I need to find... Here's those bombardment things. They're very annoying. You'll get away from one, and usually it dumps another one on top of you. Yep, there it is. They'll dump another one. So don't just move and go away. Now, this is really bad because I am absolutely out in the open here. If I get seen, I'm probably... Yep. So there is a spotting mechanism, but this is a super bad spot. Look at, and he's just running, right? He's just moving along. I'm going to have a hard time getting away from these guys. I mean, they're just coming from every direction. Jeez. I don't know how I'm going to survive this, to be honest. I have no place to actually go hide. See, that guy's going to hit me. There's a bounce. I finally got a bounce from something. Jeez. This dude's looking right at me. It's going to hurt. Oh, there we go. He's not looking. Someone. All right, so that panther comes up out of the top. Come on, baby. Ah. Light him on fire. Supposed to automatically light him on fire, but I don't know if that happened. Oh my gosh, we're getting crushed. I got a guy behind me. Oh, they just absolutely annihilated us. Look, my entire team is hanging out in the back. They're all regenning, and we just got... So there is some strategery there when you spawn back in or when you move to the next phase. Be careful about moving too far forward, because that's happened to me multiple times. You just get swarmed. There's more AI than you. They don't care if they die, right? That's always the problem with AI in games. They don't act rationally like humans will, even though humans don't always act rationally in games. It's more often than an AI bot does. The self-preservation just really isn't there for these guys. So they don't really care. See, now look, I'm getting forced to move forward. I've got to actually move forward into the Panther. That was very strange. All right. I guess we had moved on to the next phase, right? It said counterattack. How many guys are left? Oh, okay. We're not quite done yet. We need to kill. Oh, here they come. The timing on that's a little... There's the tigers now. So now we've got tigers involved, and that they are a bit painful. Dude, that dude just looked at me. The second I showed up, he just turns and starts looking. That's the other thing. There doesn't seem to be any real reaction time requirement from them. They just spin and start shooting at you. If you're spotted, they're shooting. Here we go. I got that guy lit on fire. Oh, God. Let's see this guy. He's coming after my TD, huh? Hey, I finally got a track. I was just saying, tracks seem to be, for some reason, difficult to get. He's looking at me. He's going to shoot me. There's still a tiger in front of us here. Does he move forward? I found the TDs hard to use because of just the way the game is played like this. Ow, found the tiger. Holy cow, he's just coming at us. Oh, see, I try to track him. There we go. Another fire for you. All right. See, I only have this tank and one more to unlock. So there I've unlocked it. You'll notice that the white guy showed up. So if you're kind of familiar with how it works in Frontline as far as showing you what you have and what you don't have. Oh, there's the artillery. Finally, the Wesp took a interest in me. You'll understand what the blank tanks and the white tanks mean. I've got two basic respawns, and that's it. And this guy's down to one shot, so everything out there will one shot me at this point. Oh boy, someone saw me. My understanding is you can actually be hit by already hiding behind things, but I don't know how true that is. Well, there you go. Something that looks like it just landed near me. There's more rubble piles in this mode than you would recognize from the standard. See the guy with the flag? That's a boss. We got to get rid of that guy. But I don't see him. Where'd he go? He's hiding right there. There we go. So we got a little chunk of him. Let's try to light him on fire with our next shot, if we can. Oh, look at that. It worked. A little strategery. He's burning. Now what I'm betting isn't happening is he probably doesn't lose a whole bunch of crew and stuff. I'm betting that his operational ability is just fine. I'm gonna try to bomb him. There we go. I got another fire going on him. Nice. Hopefully he doesn't just snap me here. See, that's what I'm talking about. That the AI does that's super, super duper annoying. I mean, just come on, man. All right. Down to one of my last two. Got one more after this one. One more tank. Now, have we killed one of the bosses? No, but I definitely hurt that boss. That was the first. There's the other boss. That was the first time I was able to kind of get in close to a boss before kind of the very end of the game. Oh, shoot. All right, I'm going to try to get around this dude. Because we only got a minute 38. You don't necessarily have to kill everything. You just got to get the boss out. Is he looking at me? Wish I had a fire, dude. If I had a fire thing, that'd be great. Trying to track him, but that didn't work. Oh, someone's going to have to come in and help me out here. Get behind him, Churchill guy. There we go. So Churchill got him kind of busy. The AI does tend to switch targets a lot. Oh, that sucks. Uh-oh. Oh, good. I got a Sue helping me. Jeez, that hurt. Get him. Did I bounce? Nice. Ah, we did it. That's only the second one of 5 I've won. Only the second one of 5 I've won. It looks like we did pretty well. So that map did not seem near as hard as the other ones. And I didn't see any Ferdinands. On other ones, I've seen Ferdinands show up. So that was interesting right there. That was definitely interesting. So you can see with the times 15, right there, I got the 360. So like I said, I did okay. How did I do team score-wise? Yeah, it's only 9 kills and 7,000 damage down there. But 360, I'd say anywhere from 250 to 500 or 600, depending on how well you do. Down at the lower levels anyway with the times 15. So that's a pretty good chunk. You can see that it got me to 1,195 on the operation. And so it's a direct correlation. I got 360, so my winged spearhead group or team went to 360 of 800 needed to get to the next one. And that's pretty much it, guys. There's not a lot else to say right there. That one went pretty well for my team. Pretty decent teamwork. That's the first time I'd been on that particular map. Seems like it's a little bit more, even though there's less cover I was talking about, I think it gives you a little bit better ability to kind of flank and get better shots. Some of the channelized city maps are really very difficult. If a Ferdinand or a Tiger gets holed down behind some of the rubble and is just staring down the road, you have a really hard time getting around it. It can be done, but it's hard to kind of tank those dudes. And even the IS-1 has a little bit of issue penning the Tigers. The lower plate of, obviously, the Panther is weak. Most of the things will go through it. But again, there's a lot of rubble on this map. Not that one, or on these maps, not particularly that one. But the other ones have a lot of extra rubble piles, and the AI is decent, not amazing, but decent at sort of hiding behind it. Although it will often come out sideways to you quite a bit, so take opportunities on those. Just because a turret's not looking at you doesn't mean it won't just swing, snap, and shoot. There doesn't really seem to be much change in accuracy, at least to me, anecdotally, whether it's moving its turrets or driving or what it's doing. I would suspect it's all the same kind of mediocre accuracy no matter what the thing is doing. If it's doing calculations like waiting for settle and all that, there's no real apparent, that's not really apparent to me, but maybe it wouldn't be. You know, you're being shot at by so many of them, who knows, maybe that it's just plain old, yep, he spun, it was a huge dispersion from the Tiger, and he snapped you while he was moving, whatever. But you see it a lot, so it can get a little bit frustrating. Because the reason I bring it up is a lot of times when you're playing a human, when you're timing shots, you'll pay attention to where their turret is, and you know that that's an increased possibility of him missing because he's got to shift and do something. It's turret on, boom, hit. You're like, oh, geez. And you saw that a lot with Homefront as well. And the other PvE events they've done with their AI. The AI tanks, I don't think, play by the same rules. And that's probably fine because that would be extra calculations they don't really need to throw into the mix right there. So it may not really be a big issue. And there you go, Road to Berlin. Next up is going to be a quick down and dirty review of the IS-2 Shielded. Overall for Road to Berlin, I think I'm going to buy that thing just because I've got a lot of gold sitting around. I'll get a couple extra things. I may look at it and see what happens when I get to some of the higher levels, higher level tanks on the teams. If it's going fast enough, I might try to get the bounty equipment. Again, it irritates me that the bounty equipment is behind a grind wall like this for an extra mode that doesn't really do much for your standard grind other than give you some goodies along the way. It is kind of mindless. It's only semi-interesting to me. I know a lot of other people like it. I would say it's better than Homefront was. So if you liked Homefront and you were kind of jonesing for a better event, this is probably right down your alley. And there are some good prizes involved. You're going to get a Tier 7 pretty easily, a Tier 7 Premium IS tank, IS-2, in case you didn't have enough. But, you know, if you're a new player and you don't have one, you haven't won one of the various IS-2s or ISs that are running around, here you go. You can get the IS-2 Shielded for pretty easily for free. And even with minimal effort, you can get it for 3,000 gold, right? I should be, how close am I to, you know, not too far off, a couple more times fives, I don't know, 7, 8 games at the most, depending on how much. I did buy another times 15 so I could play my T3045 and get another 3 or 4 or 500, maybe 600, and I'd be really close. So I think you can, without even trying, get that IS-2 Shielded for 3,000 gold pretty easily. All right, let's move on to the IS-2 Shielded review. IS-2 Shielded review. All right, regarding the IS-2, if we look at the vehicle details here, this is another version of the IS-2. This is interesting. So the IS-2 is used extensively. It is a slightly upgraded 122 millimeter glacis plate, much simpler to cast than the IS itself. So the IS-2 is used extensively on assaults in the fortresses of Budapest, Breslau, and Berlin. Except that this actually has less armor than the other IS-2. But we'll get to that in a minute for balance purposes, I assume. The screens are to increase survivability in urban warfare, to the Panzerfaust, as I mentioned, sticky bombs, other types of rounds, helping to detonate it before it gets to the actual armor there. So this actually is 5 millimeters of spaced armor, folks. So I am assuming that that is going to help and complicate shots by heat shooters quite a bit. So that's going to be an interesting kind of X factor on this tank to see if that has much effect at all from heat shooters, or I don't know. We may have to jump into a test room and test it, but There you go. As far as tanks.gg is concerned, it is spaced armor right there. There are 4 crew members, just like all the other IS-2s, and we'll jump in real quickly here to, remember it's a premium tank as well. You know what? I'm going to be honest. I don't know if it's a premium or a reward tank. I'm pretty sure it's a premium and should make extra credits. I'll have to test that a little while later and maybe get back to you. But here it is, all the other IS variants that I could find. There may be one who's snuck through somewhere, but we've got the IS-2S. Remember the IS-2, which is a premium. That's part of the Berlin package. The regular IS from the tech tree. The IS-2M, which was a upgraded IS-2 after the war kind of upgrade planned. I think some of it actually went through, not 100% sure. And then the Chinese IS-2, just to add confusion in there. What you're going to find is it's all the 390 Alpha 122 with the same pen, the same rate of fire, the same loading time for every single one of them, and the same DPM of 1,984. Every single one of these guys is the same. As far as gun handling and stuff, interestingly, the IS-2S has a slower turret traverse. I don't know, maybe it's because of the extra screens or weight or balancing. It's no idea. There's more examples like this. -6 degrees except for the poor Chinese IS-2 who has lost a degree of depression and a degree of elevation. Don't ask me why. No, I don't know. Maybe their version of the 122 was not as small as the Russian version. I don't know what to tell you. Dispersion 0.44, all the same except but some bizarre reason the IS-2M is a little better. I think the idea is upgraded fire control for a later model version. Makes it a little bit more accurate. But 0.44 is derpy, guys. It is derpy. We'll show that in the replay. Hit points are the same except for the IS-2M. Again, the later version upgraded. And the Chinese version gets 50 more. Here's the whole armor differences, which are really strange and hard to track. But I guess it depends on when it was built. 100 for the IS-2 and the regular IS-2, the Berlin version. Although it's saying both these fought in Berlin, so there you go. 120 for the regular IS. 100 for the IS-2M, and then only 90 for the IS-2. The turrets are exactly the same. 90 on the side, which makes it a pretty decent side scraper. Going to be hard to overmatch, obviously, a 90mm side right there. Not quite as nice as some of those 100mm German ones, but not bad at all. The engine power, specific power, weight load limit, all that is all over the place. The bottom line, what you need to know, it's the slowest of all its cousins at 30, and it is a bit sluggish. I mean, 34 is sluggish, but 30 gets into the really painful region, whereas the IS-2 zips around at 37, even though it has the lowest horsepower engine. I don't know, folks. Somebody could probably go through, do all the math on horsepower to specific power to the weight load limit and terrain tolerances and all that stuff, but what you really want to know is it's the slowest of all of them. All right, there you go. It's not like you're going to change your horsepower and make it better anyway. You get to concealment, it's all the same except for the Chinese one who somehow is more stealthy than the rest. But hey, look at this. The IS-2S has the best signal range, or is tied for the best signal range out of all the IS variants. Right, let's take a look at some gameplay. Well, you know what? First, I'll just tell you how I have it set up really quickly. Rammer, vents, and gun laying drive. I think a lot of people argue in today's game you would trade the GLD for optics on that. All right, so definitely an option to throw optics on there. My crew was okay. They had Brothers in Arms, but they hadn't even finished up with 6 cents. That will cost me a little bit in these games. I'm going to show you 2 games in there to kind of get you a feel. But really, if you've played any of the IS variants, you've played this tank, to be quite honest. Again, the only kind of possible game changer or interesting thing going on here is if this spaced armor starts to give heat a lot of trouble. That could be interesting. It really could be. It's going to make the heat shooters have to be very careful on where they pick to take shots on it. And if you can surprise, if it indeed does stop heat and give heat problems, some of those higher level, higher tier heat shooters, you know, first couple times they shoot into you and they can't quite pin because of that little tiny shield is stopping it. Whatever. That could be a bit of a game changer, at least until people figure it out and start working around it. All right. I don't want to make a mountain out of molehill on that. I don't know. Some testing is required. Let's look at some gameplay. I played 2 games in it. I'm going to show you both those games. The first one not so good. Second one went okay. Get this stuff set up for you here so I What is happening? All right, there we go. So we're going to come in here, and I think I got called away at that point, so we'll go forward. All right, so the Sinlac is pushing in. I can see that I might have some targets. I don't want to challenge the TDs too much, and not a bad setup. I'm actually middle tier. See that great big dispersion and how long it starts to take to settle. The IS is a tank that you're always going to want to be fairly close to your work, or you're just taking a chance, even when you're close to your work at 0.44. But you'll see, okay. Wasn't fully zoomed, but I wasn't at a huge dispersion because I was kind of settled in a little bit there, and I'm able to sneak one in on the Fury. That's pretty good. You can see that we've got a big beach push by the enemy down there, and we've only sent a couple guys. There are 2 artillery. This tank will be easy to hit with artillery. It's just slow. You'll notice how relatively sluggish it is. It takes a while to turn it around. And we'll go ahead and come back around this way and try to work the middle. The Su-101 is brutalizing the middle. The enemy Su-101 is, the guys down the beach aren't doing great. So I'm coming up here to see if we can find somebody to shoot. And we'll push in. I'm looking for an opportunity to come up behind this P-43 and maybe get this stack of guys over on the east part of the map an opportunity to start breaking this open over here. So I think there's nobody really watching the middle. Let's go here, but I'm not really blazing across, am I? And then watch how sluggish it is up the hill. It's just like, oh, please go up the hill. There we go. There's that mediocre -6 depression, but it is enough to get the gun down right there. I remember I don't have 6th sense, so I was clearly seen, and then I get ammo racked by the Fury in the side. That's a bummer. Can't quite get the gun down on him, and now I've got to back out. The P-43 is smart. Gets over towards here, so I can't shoot him anymore, giving my gun depression a problem. And now I'm kind of in trouble because I've overextended here based on my team did not take the opportunity to come around the corner. Of course, the problem was that KV-3 and whatever else is there right next to him are keeping them, I think a T-150, are keeping them from coming around because they'll poke around and take shots. So I'm going to work this a little bit, but I already know I'm probably going to need to get out of here fairly quickly. That guy's behind a building. I'm not going to get a shot. The Fury is right there. More than likely he just saw me when I popped up. And I'm starting to think about, yeah, I probably need to just bail out of this middle right here. The Senlac goes in, but he's not getting a lot of support. You can see the VK and the other tank. It's only a Type 64 around the corner, and oops, holy cow, we've lost guys. So this is where I'm now going to run away from here. I need to get back. That's a good kill on the P-43 TR. I'm very glad the T-92, I see that he pokes up and doesn't quite go for it. I was looking at him, so that kept him from doing what I think he wanted to do, which is come around and shoot me in the back. So at least I got my gun towards him and fended him off. But you can see the beach push is just absolutely getting hammered and losing, and now we're down 3-7. This is not looking great. So I'm going to come up here and try to get a shot on one of these guys, but it's not quite tall enough to reach into the back from that spot. We'll back down there. Thinking about maybe going back over to the 3002, but I got a lot more problems over on the left. And I figure I might be able to get over there and work on the 101, the Fury, the T-92, and then back up my TS-5, which is our best gun. And, you know, good news for us, our best gun sat in the back. That's always good. But he does kill the Fury, so that's a start. And now we're going to talk about the derpiness of the IS gun. It is what it is. The gun is painful. Yeah, you run around with 390. Yeah, it's going to let you down and start to help determine games in a bad way. So I just see that. We'll just zoom in on that guy. Oh, yep. Not quite fully zoomed. I was worried about him moving, but you didn't see it. I saw it when I was playing. It went right over top of him, just plain old missed with the derpiness of it. I'm thinking, all right, well, let's just shoot this guy. He's probably going to get a shot. We'll just like right there. Nope, that's right into the dirt. Backing out, and he has no such problems. Thumps me for 395. Now I'm in trouble, right? I was unable to get rid of the T-92. The TS-5 gets him. I was unable to put a hit on the IS, and I sold out to get to the middle to do so, and now I'm just really in big trouble. There's the Arty. 4043 drops 390 on me because it's a relatively slow tank. And there's the M44. Same reason. Now I'm ammo racked again. I can see that the IS is coming up on my side. When I backed up, I should have backed up. I saw him coming. I should have backed up and straightened my tank out, but for some reason I back out straight, just thinking I could sneak a shot, and he actually pickles before I do, and down I go in a spectacular 817 damage and 90 assist loss in my first battle in the IS-2 shielded. But I wanted to show you that one because you are going to deal with the derpiness of the Russian 122. It's a thing. It's part of what makes the tank a little painful. Yeah, it's nice to drop 390 on people, but RNG is going to determine games in a bad way for you with guns like that. That's just the way it is. All right. Not saying had I hit those two, it would have turned it around, but it would have made it a lot better damage-wise for me because I would have been sitting around 1,500 instead of 817. All right, let's look at the second example. Our second example, we're on Cliff. Really good setup for me. I'm top tier. I've got tier 6s to bully. It's a Panther M10 across from me, so not even a heavy on the other side. St. Emil has a big gun, can be trouble. The rest of them can eventually whittle me down, but I'm the big dog on this map. So we're just going to go ahead and go forward. Oh, wait a minute. I wanted to show you this because talking about the derpiness. Coming on up and over, you can see obviously before I went backwards, the T50-2 starts dancing around. This spot right here, you can get shots on guys. I got to get up and over a little bit. You can see that the -6 depression stops you from being able to stay there. Got to come up. Now I'm just going to like boom, and right over. Right, not fully zoomed, obviously, but just not a sniper gun. So I missed that guy. It's unfortunate. I've got the 178 doing his thing, and then I see him. He wants to do this, right? I'm like, you really do want to go up there, don't you? You're going to make a break for it. So I'm like, yep, there we go. Am I fully zoomed? Not quite, but that time we got him. Just caught the top of his turret and took him out. And, you know, purely an RNG thing right there with a gun that derpy. Good news is that the enemy did not take the ramp over there. That's very helpful, so I'm not getting poked in the side from the right. That's very good. I don't see a big push going around the corner yet, although the Object 244 is watching it, and then we've got a couple TDs. So it looks like most of the hit points are going to be right here. Now, they do have a St. Emil and a 34-2 GFT. They will have shots on me from their little sniper hill back there, and in fact, the Panther's back there as well. But I can cover up a little bit if I stay right by these rocks, and I should be able to get some shots on these guys. See how close I stay to the rocks? This guy's going, and that worked out on that one, all right? Nice and close, so even though the dispersion was pretty big, I was able to get that shot. Relatively long reload. It is a 390 Alpha, so it's going to take you a while. Just zoom in on him. Panther takes an opportunity to thump me right there, and I get another shot into the side of the, what was that, Thunderbolt? No, T150. Whatever it was I shot right there. So I've got 1,200 damage. Things are looking good. I do notice now over on the east side that they're coming around the corner and the object's trying to take them on. There's a snap that works that time. Again, it's relatively close, so I'm able to thump the Thunderbolt. And now I'm going to try to take a chance in here and get another shot. That guy misses. I whack him and leave him on 9 hit points. This time the Panther does get a shot. Looks like he's switched over to APCR. And unfortunately, the 3045 sneaks another shot in on me. And you can see I'm fighting the depression there. All right, that is a problem with that tank. The depression is an issue. I had to come up and over onto the flat to get shot. So I'm going to leave that. There are 3 artillery, and eventually they're going to get interested in starting to thump the big heavy tank that's continually shows himself there. And I'm seeing what looked like an issue on the east side is being sorted, but it looks like an opportunity to me to try to get out the KB-85 and his buddy, the E8 over there. It looks like the E25 has decided the same thing, so he's trying to come around and look for shots. KB-85 goes down. That's a big help. And now we've got the Super. And it looks like the T150 also wants to come fight over here, so that works for me. We can get rid of those two. We're in good shape. We're already ahead a little bit by 1 tank. We see the 150. He's trying to get away again. Works out that time, right? Shot goes relatively close to where I aimed. I've got 2098, and now this Easy-8's in trouble. I don't want to just drive out and give him all the shots in the world, but we'll just, boom, take him down. But I do want to pressure him and get rid of him. You do have to be careful with Shermans when you walk out in front of them if they've got the 76, because it is a pew, 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 pew gun, and he'll wheel you down. He's going to take, what is it, 3 or 4 shots by the time I reload again. Say I bounce or miss or something, he's going to have a lot of opportunity to shoot me. I'm going to come around here. I do have to be careful about the artillery. I don't want to get spotted, and I do have to worry about the sniper hill where the Panther is and potentially the St. Emil. I don't know where no, St. Emil was last seen on the ramp, so I don't know where he is now. I suspect he's somewhere close to that sniper hill. He was probably headed that way when he got spotted. A flaming wreck falls down behind me. I just noticed that in the replay. Looks like the E25 took out the 50-2, was trying to dive down. The 244 is out in the open. I'm going to try to use these bushes as much as possible, plus these buildings. to try to minimize my exposure to the guys who are hanging out up on that hill. The 3045 is there, the M, and then I see, oh, there we go. Probably should have backed up and tried to get double bush, but I'm just going to accept the thump at 393. Remember, I don't have 6th sense, so I'm just assuming I was lit right there. And in fact, that's going to prove to be so because he bounces a shot. That one goes into the rock. There's that derpiness. And again, I didn't let it zoom in completely. It's pretty far away, and it's a big dispersion gun. So not a surprise that I missed that. There's my artillery friend. Drops 134. And remember, I got thumped for 400 or whatever it was by the 4043. This game is pretty much won. We're at 2,700 damage, 229 assists. And we're not done getting hit by arty, so just wait for this. The 3045M clearly has me lit as he takes a shot, and now he's looking. I'm going to try to sneak one. No! So we'll just come around this rock. People trying to take shots at him. Remember, it's a 13 F3, right? This is a tier 6 artillery. Just wait for it because it's beautiful. I get stunned by my own arty. That's always fun. So I'm like, all right, that's good. We'll just come around. We're going to go look for a shot on the 13 F3. Oh, 358 from what I had to assume was a pen. And I didn't look at this. Is that this hole right there in the back deck? I think it is. No, where is that? There it is. Looks like it went right through the top of the turret. So he nails me right through the top of the turret, drops 358 from bloody HE from a 13 F3. Holy cow. Artillery is a fantastic game mechanic. I do not have a kit to fix the gunner, so watch how big this dispersion circle is and how slow it takes to zoom in. Go. And then I move. And I'm thinking, all right, I know he's right in one of those bushes. There we go. Fire! I'll be honest, it came closer than I thought it would. I thought it would go to the edge and hit the moon or maybe shoot the ground 2 feet in front of me. It actually sort of tracked towards him, to the gunner's credit. 2,777 damage, 229 assists with 3 kills. Look, top tier. That's the kind of game you should have in a top tier heavy in a match like that. And this tank can do it. So there's nothing wrong with this tank as far as that goes. But again, and I've said it 100 times, remember, it's an IS, so it's going to have those frustrations in the game when you're talking about accuracy and RNG. That's just part of how this kind of tank rolls. If you can get close to your work, if the slow and steady is working out for that particular match, this tank can do it. It will be interesting, like I said, to figure out if that spaced armor is giving people fits who are firing heat. It looks like there's plenty of places to try to get around it, but it is fairly comprehensive. I mean, look at that. If you're trying to shoot the side, you're going to try to get back here potentially. If you try to get down low, then you got the tracks futzing with you. Lower plate obviously uncovered, but upper plate. And of course the face of the turret is not covered, so we'll see. All right, guys, that's all I've got for my review of Road to Berlin and for the IS-2 Shielded. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate your support of the channel, and we will see ya.